Is groot, so trek my ander, so ek is in die jol op 'n maandag, boetie jy gaan lang wag. Dis 'n lang wag, boetie dis 'n lang wag.
You are listening to Informanté Radio,
the home of the best music variety.
First and foremost, I want to thank everybody out there.
Please don't give a political speech. This is not a platform.
This is the morning mix on Informanté Radio.
My favorite show.
We're talking about one person, Maria. One person that you know. But you don't know every therapist.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, I'm not everybody's professional, but I mean...
Exactly.
But
so you stop defending her. We're not talking about her now.
I'm not talking about her also.
I'm talking about my cousin therapist who tells people stories.
Lend an ear and join us every morning.
All the time.
I listen all day, every day.
I don't know. I'm just addicted to it.
But Maria, I'm also family of yours. Dis is nie familie nie.
Sy het gister vir ons gesê ons is broers.
Hallo.
Hoe sê sy vir ons is
I thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, I've said you are family zone.
Nee.
You just said we are not family. You are a Kwanyama.
My brother.
The morning mix.
Starting your day with a bang. You are listening to Namibia's best radio station, Informanté Radio. As you journey through life towards your retirement goal, build your wealth with Elite Save. Earn 8.5% compound interest on your investment term, while choosing when and how you receive your interest returns. It's tailor-made to help you succeed. For more info, SMS Elite Save to 31844 and we will call you back. Underwritten by Trustco Life.
This public service announcement is brought to you by Informanté Radio.
Trustco Media is committed to providing its listeners, readers, and consumers with newsworthy, informative, and entertaining content ranging over several media platforms, including news and radio content, editorial, traditional, as well as new media. Trustco Media provides its listeners, readers, and consumers with a fair, effective, and transparent feedback channel to communicate any grievances and concerns relating to any of the content we distribute. Should you have a complaint about any of the content we distribute, you can send an email to informante@tgh.na
or info@tgh.na.
or you can give us a call on 061 275 4000. You can also send an SMS to 711. Alternatively, you can forward your grievance to the Communications Regulatory Authority of Namibia
or the Media Ombudsman of Namibia.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, Monday to Fridays.
The morning mix.
Who's under pressure?
She said she love my banga. Said she love my banga. Malume. Banga, and they all like to suck. They keep it
Inofula, Ulino Mwene Womkon. Hey. Ejebe. Are you with me?
Yeah, Turipamwe.
On the Sam. Good morning and welcome to the morning mix. 23 minutes past 8 of the Vrydagoggend. Woo, what a week it has been. Cool Under Pressure, Mavis Braga, Sammy Lee Jones. That one is titled, it's titled Pangaman.
Pangaman.
The Checo.
Only you see wallet.
Ek sien jy nou die song gaan geluister, né?
My broer. I think probably about a year ago, I downloaded the song, and it's part of my playlist now for quite some time. You know COP, you know Cool Under Pressure. I think in general, one of the Namibian groups that really get that bass van hulle. Oh, that's like it.
It's Willie G. Right? Willie G's got a dope sound.
Nee?
Dope sound, the producer.
Nah.
So, goeiemorgen julle ook. I see a lot of you already on the live stream. Some of you already dropping your comments. Appreciate having you here with us every single morning. As always, let's quickly check out your COVID numbers before we get into the meat of the day. We registered one more death yesterday, so the total death toll now stands at 141. I think it's about 8 months later since the pandemic broke out here. 141 is a decent number.
You know, there if you do, there if you don't.
Yes.
Even by saying that what you are saying, you know, you don't say it with any malice.
Yes.
There's nothing malicing about what you say, but it needs to be said that, you know what, our figures concerning fatalities are low.
Very low, yes.
Okay? But even if you say it, our figures are low. So anybody out there says, so Jay said the mense moet doodgaan.
No. Like I'm just like remember at the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, we saw what was happening in especially in Europe at the time, and we thought that this virus was going to come and devastate our health system, but we have held up. Actually, the whole of Africa, most of Africa. Let me not say the whole of Africa, but most of Africa has held up pretty well.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world is actually looking on in amazement because everybody thought Africa was going to be the hardest hit because of our lack of infrastructure and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And Cuba is, I must say once again, you know what? For the months that we really thought, and I think a town like Walfish Bay was really under the pump for some time. And as much as we firstly joked around about Walfish Bay, it really became serious because you know what, these are our fellow countrymen.
Yes.
And it's a town that we love very, very much.
These are real human beings
These
with
are
real
human
feelings.
beings.
They've got families that they need to support. Not just financially, emotionally as well. So, condolences to everybody who has lost somebody to this virus. All right, our total caseload, active caseload at the moment is 339, a small uptick from yesterday morning when we had 318 active cases, but the number still continues to come down generally. So
and again, you know what, yesterday when we were joking about julle moet my uncle uitlos and what and we need to commend government for how they implemented measures.
Yes.
We have to be very honest now and say, you know what, let's give credit where credit is due. I think in terms of what we have done up until now to contain the virus, to make sure that people are safe, we honestly need to say, you know what, kudos to our Ministry of Health and Social Services.
Of course, yes.
That they've done an excellent job, but to keep people safe, and I think the measures that's been put in place, the testing centers out there. Let's not talk about that testing center.
The communication center.
The communication center. Wat is dit?
Earphones.
Huh?
Kom ons hulle so ver.
Wil jy hê?
No, dis genoeg.
Daar's ene wat stikkend is hierso.
There's one that's plugged out because when I'm sitting there doing the other show with Dirk, I normally plug mine in. Kyk net daar by die device agter.
Kyk bietjie of hy werk.
Hierdie mense dink eerder sy kom kantoor toe laat, né?
Ja.
Hulle weet jy kan hier.
Ja, nee, jy kom laat. Jy kom laat. She's only coming now. Sy kom nou eers hierso aan.
Laat HR nie.
Nee, that's a groot story. It's not working, eh?
Okay. It might not be plugged in, guys. You are not listening to me. Oh, it's right. You guys must can sort it out. Jealous must is slim, mense.
No, what?
Smart people.
Mans ken mos ook nie
Vat net.
Weet jy, dan moet julle mos luister, Bobby.
Vat net as jy so graag wil jouself wil hoor. Ja. It's fine.
Just put it around. Put it around that mic.
But anyway, yeah, so it's Friday today. It's Friday today.
Thank you.
Hi Maria, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Hoe het jy geslaap? You slept well?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this thing's working. What a disorientated day. It's the worst day to be disorientated.
No, it happens when you only arrive now. Understand?
Ek wag laat julle maar klaar maak met julle so.
Unbeknownst to our listeners, I actually arrive, contrary to popular belief, I actually arrive at the office between these two magas here. And then I just sit at my desk.
Yeah. No, Maria is here. You know, I pull in here around 7:25. That's normally when I pull in here. And then I see Maria's already parked. You know, in the parking lot. Understand you? I don't know who she's trying to impress here. You understand?
Come by getting to work early.
Come on, yeah, you understand? Yeah. So yeah, those are the COVID numbers, and
yeah, it's not looking too bad. And just keep on following the regulations. Yeah, keep on adhering to the regulations. Let's get this number down to even below 50 active cases that we have to manage in the country.
Yeah.
Because we are still, although many of you have sort of forgotten, there are still people who are catching the coronavirus every single day. We are still registering new cases, not in high numbers like we did a while ago, but yeah,
June, July,
yeah,
June, July, August.
It is still there. So just take the precautions, wear your mask, socially distance. And of course, try to sanitize as much as possible. Yeah, that's your COVID update for this morning. It's no move for corona.
That's say.
Zet die aircon af, man.
We're gonna have our stream will continue after 10 also this morning, just for you guys who would still have time to still log into
sit and watch
our stream. To sit and watch, because we're going to have a launch on the fittest in Namibia contest or competition, which will be taking place in Swakopmund over the festive period.
So on the 18th and the 19th.
The 18th and the 19th of December.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trasco is one of the is actually a media partner.
Yeah, we are media partners, so we will have the different sponsors who will be coming in, who will shed a little bit light on this competition. And yeah, it would be interesting to hear. It's obviously something to go and watch in Swakopmund. Laat de mensen net gaan drinken als ons in Swakop is. Verstaan je, Maria?
Isn't that what Swakop is for? I thought that was
what is your
Swakop
plans
for
the holidays?
No, I'm not. I don't have plans, but it by the sound of, well, according to my previous meeting, it seems you and I are going to be in Swakopmund for this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be there.
No, you will be there for sure, but it seems I will be there as well.
You will be there as well?
Yeah, it sounds
okay.
Like it, yeah.
So, ons gaan saam daar so wees.
Sal daar saam wees.
Maar ek kan nie met mense rondloop wat nie drink nie. So
nou maak
you are insignificant to my, you don't add value to my day in Swakop, Maria.
Yeah. Sorry, while I'm sitting here, I'm actually looking. You went to go get your hair done, right?
Yeah, I het Chisco.
Ek work gevra nou.
Chisa, and he got his beard trim.
I can see you went to Tatekulu again.
But now, the reason I'm looking at you, I just realized jy het earring gedra, Gina.
Ja, ek het 2 stats gedra.
Gom charge.
Ek het 2 slippers.
Were they the diamond ones?
No. I didn't do the diamond ones. It's just normal
Gold.
gold ones.
When did you stop?
I think about 2 years ago, I lost.
So jy was een van die toppies.
Ja, ek het 2 sleepers gedra en dan
And
het
then
2
it's-
stats gedra.
And it's got this tattoo that go, it's a
Yeah.
never. It's a,
I can go back. I actually loved it.
You look young.
Thank you very much.
You look very young today.
I loved wearing it, but it was just, after some time wearing them, I was like, toch.
Yeah.
Ja.
15 jaar dit gedra, so.
Ek het dit nog nooit gedoen nie.
Huh? Stats.
Ja, wel het
The only,
swag,
the only, the only
No,
peer.
hoe check jy my ook?
Hey, get your soccer check, man. No.
Nee, check my swag.
Dit earrings gehad.
earrings
Shish,
gedra.
nog verstaan ek dat. Nog verstaan ek dat shish wat ek gaan maak daar by MTC. Mix, it's all coming together now.
The only piercings I have is the tattoos. Maar anyway, kom ons gaan in die story van die dag in. It's a piercing. Ish. Yeah, it's most die needle. So there's this interesting insert. It's on the cover of the Namibian newspaper this morning. It's on teenage pregnancy, in particular schoolgirls. Right, falling pregnant after the COVID lockdown. The number that is in bold red letters here is 3,300 schoolgirls who have fallen pregnant after the COVID lockdown, with some teens also being impregnated by close family members, according to the Namibians reporting. This is alarming.
Just read 1 or 2 or 3 paragraphs, please.
I will read one. All right, it says more than 3,300 schoolgirls have fallen pregnant during the COVID-19 imposed lockdowns from March to July. The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture confirmed that a total of 3,323 girls were impregnated during this period. Most of these girls did not return when schools reopened in September because of fear of stigma, thus abruptly cutting their school year short.
Aye.
From what month to what month?
March to July.
March to July. March, April, May, June, July. 4 months.
Over 3,300.
Over. So it's 3,328.
And 23. Yeah, 3323.
3,323.
Yeah, it's quite alarming,
And
guys.
some were impregnated by their relatives.
There's also an issue about relatives.
The home during lockdown became one of the most unsafest places for a lot of women and children.
Yes, like there's a quote from Ms. Sanet Steenkamp also on the front page with regards to the story, where she says we need to stop blaming the ministry and ask ourselves, where are the men who impregnated these girls? Who are these men?
Yes.
Who are...
Because
It was a schoolgirl?
when I saw this headline yesterday, I think the Namibian shows their headlines
Yes.
without the backstory. So I saw this and it sent shivers down my spine, because you just knew some of these cases were due to statutory rape. You just knew. People sleeping with minor girls and impregnating. You just know that those figures, those type of cases are included in these figures. And that's very concerning.
It's very, very concerning. And but then again, this comes to light. I don't know if there's any significance into comparison, probably what happened probably a year ago. I don't know how the statistics compare with maybe a
You
year
can't
Last year.
compare them,
Is
because
it?
it's during lockdown. This is the first
Oh,
lockdown
okay.
ever.
Yes.
Okay. But it's quite concerning. I will not sit here and say the family element still weighs even heavier. The fact that these are teenage girls who are being impregnated or have been impregnated during this lockdown is quite alarming. Quite
It
alarming.
is true. And-
These are teenagers.
And you know, I'm sitting here and thinking of this over 3,000 number. I mean, as much as sex with the minor can even be consensual, I'm sure most of these cases were not even. I don't want to use the word rape, but I like
But it's
it.
statutory rape.
No, not statutory rape. Like, yes, statutory rape, but also like it's not like the person did not consent. Especially when you have cases with family members and stuff like that.
So,
So
then
most
why,
of
then
those
why are you
things,
struggling to use the word rape?
most of those things are not really. I mean, I don't have the information. I'm speculating. That's why I do not really want to throw it out there.
No, that's. But it's not really a speculation. I'm saying even though if we don't have figures, it's not difficult, based even on the crime stats we've been getting
Yes.
of rape in recent times. That not only were some of them statutory rape because they were minors,
Yes,
some of them were straightforward rape
rape. Yes,
because there was no consent. I mean, we call statutory rape because a minor cannot consent, so therefore it is still rape.
yes.
But we're now talking about just full.
Where the minor does not even consent.
No, not even minor. I'm talking about a person of a legal age, like 17. That person is no longer considered a minor, so it wouldn't be considered statutory rape, but there's no consent. It's forced rape. Therefore, it's still rape. And we've been getting those figures. I mean, those type of stories in crime bulletins that have been reported lately. There's just a lot of incidences of rape of minors, rape of girls, talking about from ages 11 to 18. There's just a lot of those lately. And not just in this time of during lockdown, I'm talking about still now, like every Sunday you almost hold your breath because you know
Something
in the
that-
crime
reports are
bulletin
coming
for the
through.
weekend, there's going to be those cases.
Yeah.
But then even more concerning, they just did away with sex education in the schools,
Yeah.
in the school curricula. Is this,
I
Hello?
actually wanted to.
yeah,
So there's no sex education in our
been-
curriculum anymore.
Yes.
been removed 3 months ago?
I'm actually not too sure.
Yeah, it was in the news 3 months ago.
But I do remember the conversation being had of removing sex education.
Because of a
from-
Christian group that doesn't want. But then you look at those figures, and then you have to ask yourself. And I mean, as much as Senate is not wrong in saying you can't just blame
the girls.
the Ministry of Education,
Yes, where are these people?
where's the family, but also how is the ministry empowered with those type of figures and still making the decisions that it is making, which is to remove sex education, which teaches safe sex, amongst other things,
Yes.
from the school curriculum. I just, at some
Now-
point, let's get serious.
If we consider the secular state, if we consider the secular state, even though we are predominantly Christian society, how does whoever it is who came up with this decide that sex education shouldn't be part of our curriculum anymore? Because we're living in times where, especially now, sex education should be part
Exactly.
of what my little daughter needs to understand about ni haar koekie nie, her vagina.
Yeah.
En nie die balletjies nie, it's that penis.
And like
They need to understand these things.
Yeah, don't let the boys. This is how I'm saying. We almost live in a
Denial.
no, yes, denial. This false utopia where we think kids are not having sex, where we think that if we don't talk about sex, it's not happening, where we think if we talk about it, we're encouraging it. No, the only thing you do by discussing it, by talking about it, responsibly, is that you empower this youth.
Yes.
Is you empower them.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to empower them, if you're not going to make condoms available, I think people also need to remember where they came. I mean, we were also told don't have sex until you're married.
Don't talk about us, please. Leave us out of this.
No, because we're now the parents. Which is most not
That's
the
a
over.
problem. But
Also,
you see, the problem with leadership approaches this from a narrative of sex education encourages the kids to have sex, which is not true.
it's completely the opposite.
Yes, these are fully functioning human beings, and their hormones are going to drive them to.
And they're
that.
curious.
Yes,
And they will
exactly.
experiment, and they will be curious, and they will have sex.
The best thing that we can do is empower them with information
Yeah.
on how to protect themselves and how to do it right.
Exactly.
So if you yank that away, and then you add the fact that I remember Maria telling us a couple of weeks ago, female contraceptives are even more difficult to come by now. You need a prescription and stuff.
Oh.
So it makes the situation even more difficult for the girls. Not for the guys who are impregnating them, by the way. The guys are getting away scot-free in most of these cases.
They return to school.
But for the girls, yes.
They return to school.
If they are of the same age.
Yes.
Yeah.
He returned to school and go impregnate another one.
Bastante.
Yes, with impunity even.
With impunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's scary to see these kinds of numbers. And they should definitely rethink this whole idea of removing sex education from school, and even the availability of contraceptives to women and young girls.
And I think, and I've said this in the story, the reason I get so frustrated, right, with this narrative of talking about it encourages it, right? The reason I get so frustrated with that narrative is because I am living proof that it's not true. I told you guys, I've said this in studio before, that my father empowered us because he was a sex educator. He was a social worker that worked with HIV/AIDS positive people. So we were empowered. I'm talking about 8, 9, 10 in the home, up until we were told very early on what condom use is, how condom is put on, all of this, what sex looks like, how to protect yourself, how to be responsible. And I'm talking about a time when it was largely taboo in homes. In our house, it was very, very different. I can tell you, if you look at my family dynamics, there was never an incident of teenage pregnancy reported in my home. All of us waited till we were older, till we were responsible, till we wanted to make that decision. Most of it, all the pregnancies were planned. And this is just off of information. So I can tell you for a fact it's not true. Being empowered did not make me want to go out and have sex, because now a condom, and condoms were just, by the way, my father made sure condoms were always available in our home. It sounds weird that I'm saying, because it is a black home, but I'm telling you, this is how I grew up.
I should have known you.
And it was mostly girls in the house. But what I'll tell you is, for a fact, me and my sisters, all of us, waited till after high school. I'm not even kidding you, all of us. And we had this information and we had access to condoms. But all of us waited till after high school.
Like, look, the problem is, if we are not the ones who are teaching them, or if they're not getting the formal education at school, of course they are going to be teaching each other some stuff on the streets and in the corridors. And that is exactly what you do not want.
I remember when I was a kid. I was 5 years old. 4 or 5 years old. The girl next door, it was a fence. You run around in your underwear. She runs around in a panty. And even at that age, you stand at the fence like, come and kick, wait for me.
Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
At 5?
Yeah, I remember.
You clearly didn't grow up in the hood.
Clearly not.
Clearly
not.
He's a town kid. And that will be the highlight of your day.
It's the highlight of your day.
5.
4 or 5 years old. Daar klopt ze in die huis in. Haar klopt ze. Ik het gezien. Ik het Maria's koekie gezien. Ze het niet gezien. Ik het gezien. And there was no sex education back then.
Yes,
but
of course.
That was what we did. Okay.
If he was older, it wouldn't have just been come a cake.
Yeah.
Yes, because the problem is, look, if you take away the education, right, the formal education, it doesn't mean the need goes away. You just leave a vacuum, and that vacuum is going to be filled by whatever nonsense the friends are throwing out and stuff like that. And even on the internet, because like we all know kids are curious. And hulle sal gaan soek iewers. And you know, the internet is a scary place.
Maar ja.
Yeah, yo, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's alarming, and we hope to see some reform from the education ministry, even the gender and social welfare. What's it called? the ministry. What's Ms. Doreen Sioka's ministry called?
Doreen Sioka's ministry is
So unfortunately, they only have these numbers because kids didn't return.
Yes.
They didn't have return?
They have a little breakdown here. They're saying 25,235 pupils have not returned to school and can't be traced. 25,000.
So that number could be higher.
Yes.
It could be higher.
13,394 pupils are still being homeschooled, and then 433 schoolgirls pregnant in Ohangwena alone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the little breakdown that they had of the numbers here. It's interesting.
That's it means.
Okay, some of the comments here. Ronnie Joe Kandri Kirira. Oh, please, Neville, 5 years and you still remember. Because it was the highlight of his young life. Lea Omunyela, really 4 to 5 years old and you remember? Can't slap toch, Neville. Guys, we do remember some things from like you have vague memories of certain incidents. You don't remember everything, of course.
But I remember my childhood before I went to school. There are a lot of things I remember. You know what? I'm telling you, alcohol abuse is one of the biggest erasers of your memory. A lot of people I grew up with in my neighborhood who you can clearly see who basically decimated their own lives through the abuse of alcohol. If I would speak to them about it's a mebruka jondo, 77 toe ons tyres gestoot het, sê wat se goed onthou jy Neville? And I'm telling you, a trauma, substance abuse, etc., it erases a big part of your memory of what you can remember about your life. So, yeah. So, los my laat ek my rooi wyn drink at my age now.
Nak baby is saying, hallo, ons het pophuis gespeel en ons het oor die klere gekou.
Daar is die pophuis goede. Daar is die pophuis goede.
Neville het ons nou ver teruggevat, sê Korosa. Maar was ons nou hier so. Peer pressure also plays a big role. And that is true, especially when there is a lack of information. That vacuum is going to be filled by some things that you may not very much be welcoming of if you decide to take away the education. Anyway, kids are curious by nature. Epson is saying it is very critical to stick to religious and sex education in this era. And religious, I mean Bible studies in school. All right, so where do the Muslim nationals send their kids? I'm just kidding. I don't want to get into that. But like, let's also not mix the two, because remember, sex is like a natural process. Religion is a man-made concept. So, but like, I mean, I understand to many it is important to get that religious education, but yeah, let's not conflate the two things. Davu Nunyango, keep on voting the same people. These are the results we will be getting.
I wish they.
Davu. And Fred is saying, but these young girls also jerk and try to experience having sex, not properly educated. What is the life skills teachers doing at schools?
Not just the girls. I mean, they're having sex with somebody. They're having sex with boys. And the boys are also not using condoms.
So amal wat jekkerig is.
Yes.
Clearly, this is both sides of it.
In Ombande, Joshua is saying, morning mix crew, finally the investigation is on the roll. Looks like Trump is going to win if they recount.
Wie is that?
No, it doesn't look like that.
Who are you?
Joshua.
Joshua,
Trump has no path to the presidency.
None.
Zero. His only path to the presidency is to break the law.
No.
And it's an idea that they were flirting with earlier on this week, but it's such a long shot. Not even Republicans think he can pull it off. So I think if you're a Trump supporter, you have to start, getting ready for him actually leaving office on the 20th of January.
Yeah. But you see, Joshua, I appreciate your steadfast approach to support this fool of an orange pumpkin. I want you to keep on supporting him.
Is he supporting? I don't think he's supporting. I think he's just saying it looks like it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a fear. Maybe speaking from a place of fear.
Please come out and show show your card. Show your hand.
Your true colors.
Okay? Because at this moment in time, this guy is trying everything at the moment to try to turn this result around, and he's got a team of morons around him, especially in the name of Robert Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani. This man was talking last night. He's been interrogated by the judge. The judge is asking him continuously, show us the proof. Is there any proof that you can bring to this court that gives us substantial information as to any fraud? He says, no, I don't have any.
Yes, this is not a fraud case.
So then, what?
But
what
you
are
are alleging fraud, so what are you doing? Look, the way it looks like, right? This whole shenanigan in the courts, and even Rudy apparently charging $20,000 a day,
which he denies,
to fight all these losing cases, right? It is an effort for Trump to raise money, fundraising. The amount of emails that they are sending Trump supporters and some of the subject lines, like, I need you right now. Like, you need to do your part and stuff like that. Like, it just, I don't even think they think they're going to win. I think at this point they're keeping up the charade to milk as much money out of Americans as they possibly can on their way out.
This guy hasn't done any work, any presidential work in the last 2-3 weeks since he lost the election. Americans are dying at the moment due to this virus because he refuses to cooperate with the incoming president and his task force to release funding and to put proper measures in place
for the transition.
And to safeguard Americans against this virus.
The only thing he's done...
Sorry, mens mag mos nie vloek op hierdie show.
Nee, jy mag nie.
Nee?
Yeah.
Okay. So laat ek nie vloek nie.
The only thing he's done is he's fired somebody on Twitter. And by the way, he started pushing through auctioning off of sort of drilling rights in Alaska. Daar is nou iets wat hy wil vinnig deurstoot voor hy uitgaan, because obviously most of that area is environmentally protected because of, you know.
But anyway.
That is Donnie. Okay. From innovative Americans, let's talk about some innovative Namibians. Residents using pots and pans as their alarms.
Yes.
It was an interesting story. Some desperate Walvis Bay residents, fed up with burglars, have become innovative when it comes to safeguarding their homes. They are placing kitchen utensils made of steel on their door handles to make a noise if intruders attempt to enter. Right? Residents who spoke to the Namibian newspaper this week say they have been forced to come up with a plan after a number of them woke up to criminals turning their door handles during the night. So basically you hang your pot, your loudest pot, on the door handle, so as soon as he tries to open it...
That's very slim.
Yes.
You can even put a bell there.
We've been... I remember years ago when we also had a break-in in my parental home. We've been doing this stuff for many years on end. Sit a pot daar, sit die besem, you take the broom.
Yeah.
Daar sit jy mos die besem so underneath the handle.
Yeah.
So if you try to, die handle kan nie beweeg nie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's literally quite alarming that people have to go through such lengths at the moment to safeguard themselves.
Yes.
And but dat sal net van bynars afkom.
Maar dankie vir die idee, want hierso is housebreakings are also a problem here in the capital. So maybe we can steal a page from your book. So shout out to Wildfish Bay this morning.
I think Rocky Crest.
Yeah, Rocky Crest is...
Yeah, it reports the most cases.
Definitely the most
I spoke to some of these guys who are in armed response. And these guys are saying Rocky Crest, they have...
Elke
aand there's a call out to Rocky Crest.
And not one call out. A couple of call outs to Rocky Crest every night.
Okay, a few.
A triple of...
a few call outs to Rocky.
A few call outs to Rocky.
Have you ever been in a situation where, have you ever been in a house where people have broken into at the time when you were asleep? Not yet, not you. Okay.
Have you been in that situation?
Yeah.
At your current house?
No.
Oh.
Parental home.
Oh, okay.
And I remember my mother at 2 o'clock in the morning shouting, and through this commotion, skrik ek wakker, and I just see the kitchen door stands wide open. And die ouens het ook iets daar laat val and so. But it scares the living daylights out of you.
Yeah, I mean, to think that somebody was in your house while you're in.
A stranger in your house, and you have no idea what their intentions are. So, like, you can never be easy in that kind of situation.
Yeah, my mom's house had been broken in a few times, but it was while we were out of the house. It was during daylight,
Yeah, like at home in Okanja, we don't really have the problem. It's not a big problem in my locatie, in my particular location, right? Alle breekie baie huise in nie, maar goed as ons jou battery uit jou kar uit steel en hy goed like they will probably get into the yard and see what they can take, but
they do that semi-oma stadium thing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But it's rare that you would find them actually trying to break into a house. But then of course that is just in my neighborhood.
Wat is julle se lokasie se naam in Okanja?
Die hele lokasie in Okanja is eintlik nou uit, maar die particular area is Herro lokasie.
So Vettersdal.
Vettersdal is daar soos jy sop op te gaan. Ja, daar is.
Kalos.
Daar is die dal, ja.
Is die dal daar. Vettersdal. Dan is jy Nou Ape.
Nou Ape is nou waar ons almal is. But that was actually the amper soos ou lokasie het hulle dit.
Ek verstaan.
Ja, want eintlik in Nou Ape is daar ou lokasie, daar's Bambo lokasie, Damara lokasie, Herro lokasie. Yeah, and then there are of course new locations that were built recently, budget homes with a Grysblok. We even have a Grysblok.
Daar was so 'n road toppie daar Nou Ape. I used to go and pick him up. He's a mechanic, and I used to stay there in Nou Ape. Now that toppie se car looked just like him. So, chef bakkie. En jy moet hoor as hy bakkie start.
Ja, maar as hy gevang het, hy het gevang. Hy idle tot Dinsdagoggend toe. Alright, Nak baby, dat is die beste alarm that you can get. Het jy al gehoor hoe hard val die lid as jy jou vlees uit die pot uitsteel? Jeez, hy probeer hom nog vang, dan sla hy die grond.
For me, what works as the best alarm is I always generally have a dog, and my dogs are house pets. So, and this is what most people. It's weird when people get dogs for outside to protect, because I'm like, that's the worst way to protect your house with a dog outside, because
Why?
Because it's easy to poison them. And because once they're outside, they generally bark at almost every movement that you no longer alert. You say, they won't bluff. You're not really thinking it's something.
Maybe he's in the house and he's barking.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's
when they're in the house, and this is the house pets, particularly dogs. When they're in the house, so when my dog barks at night, I'm alert because it means something in my yard is moving. Okay.
Yeah, or even in the house.
Or, well, they'll bark before something gets into the house. Somebody's pietering or attempting to get into the house. But also for the thief, when they hear a dog in the house, rarely do they enter because they don't know what they're facing now. They don't know the type of dog. They don't know the breed. They don't know how big. They don't know how many. And also they know the dog has alerted the house owner. So that's how a lot of people avoid breaking into the house, because you can take the stuff outside. That's, I mean, if you take the dining table or the chairs or whatever, but in the house, it's very difficult when you have a pet.
Here's something that Braji Gonte, I've also heard this before, but anyway, his comment says they burn CD discs while you are asleep and the smoke takes you more into deeper sleep. Is this actually true? Because I've heard this before.
I heard this before.
I've heard that, but I didn't know it's CD. I just know if you leave your windows open, apparently they spray something that makes you
deeper sleep.
Sleep. Maar jy moet eers verby my hond gaan.
Ja, nee.
My hond sal nie langer slaap nie. My hond is
So nou moet ek ook my CD's gaan bere voor ek gaan slaap.
Hey man, dan kom jy is eie Brenda Fassie CD's daar so.
Right, Otto Adje Hansen, miskien mense verskoon my met my Engels en Afrikaans, both languages, time ago.
No, it's good.
Okay, ons sal dit daar los. Estomi, he replying to a comment. Let me read the original comment first. Good idea for homemade alarms though. Okay, here we go. A good idea, Joe, is those anti-rape alarms that sound like real alarms. Most should have them at home. It sounds like a car alarm almost.
Yes, yeah, I think ratio. But it's a screeching sound in your
It's the
ear.
whole idea. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable and make you get up to want to come see what ganda aan. Right? Afrikaans and Engels left me a long time ago. I meant.
Who's that? Oh, okay.
Ja, maar ek verstaan goed.
Okay.
Ja. Braji saying, Maria, your hond sal ook slaap.
Dogs don't sleep through that stuff.
Okay, let's actually just move on to one of the other things that we want to talk about. Of course, everybody knows it's election next week, Wednesday.
Hey!
Regional council and local authority elections. I hope you guys have gotten your registrations in order and you are ready to go cast your votes.
Hey!
All right. Firstly, we went back to the ballot paper for this election. We haven't really spoken about it. Any opinions that you guys would like to share?
Regarding what?
The ballot papers.
Ek wil net gaan stem. Is al wat vir my belangrik is.
Okay.
My only concern up until yesterday was that government did not obviously everybody was waiting with bated breath whether next week Wednesday is a public holiday or not. Some fake news came through that it's not a public holiday.
It wasn't fake news.
Now what now?
ECN doesn't have the mandate to declare that as a public
Oh,
holiday.
okay.
So they were just saying it's not a public holiday.
Oh, I see.
Which is, they were not wrong.
Ek
And
verstaan.
then the president declared it one. He
Abba.
has the authority to declare it as
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So next week Wednesday is a public holiday. So
For voting, nie gaan sit en drink by die AC. You're getting a public holiday dat jy gaan stem.
ek gaan drink in die lyn in.
Okay, I guess killing two birds with one
Yes,
stone.
so all of you out there, you know what, next week Wednesday, it's another chance for you to go and express,
Yourself. Play your
Self.
part in
Play
a
your
democratic Namibia. All right, let me just read the insert. The Electoral Commission of Namibia tells observers to do more. All right, the chairperson of the ECN, Notemba Shipoya, yesterday told organizations and individuals accredited to observe the forthcoming regional council and local authority elections to be impartial and to report accurately. Shipoya said based on the lack of information available to observers, election observation exercises remain so superficial that conclusions are either too vague or empirically inaccurate. She made these remarks when she briefed various organizations and foreign observer missions yesterday. She said there is literature suggesting some election observers have been accused of making assessments of the polls without being present at the count, which is one of the most critical phases of the electoral process. All right. We do hope that this, of course, goes as smoothly as the presidential elections went last year.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be a different process. If you walk in there, don't expect to see the machines. The machines are not going to be there this time. We're voting
There's
with
no
ballot
EVMs
paper.
on a bakkie that's falling off somewhere. or
It's
whatever.
there also EVMs what on a backyard for ballot.
Of a trailer or what.
Wasn't it being driven by that guy that Saki's Ice Boy?
Yes. Guy was doing donuts, mos. Ek het die grootste kar gekry. But yeah, so I hope everybody will observe, of course, all the rules that are around our elections. We know, like, you're not really supposed to be wearing party insignia and party colors on election day.
I'm too old for that now.
To be, I mean, jy wil net vir my laat dan nie onnodige tension wees by die pals nie. So is beter as jy maar net daar met jou gewone klere kom. Asseblief, julle boere, julle kan nie IPC aantrek nie.
Ooh, you know what I found out? Do you know what they call each other?
Patriot.
Patriot.
Ja. Goeiemiddag, Patriot.
Nee,
Patriot.
Patriot, ja.
You know, instead of comrade?
That's what I was thinking.
Hello, this is Patriot Mary.
Patriot Maria. Hello, Patriot.
Guys, what is going on?
It's fine.
Patriot.
It's an independent Namibia, young. Everyone has the right to choose what they want to choose.
Comrades, Patriots.
Kijk bijvoorbeeld, guys. I think, you know, in 89 when we went to go vote for the first time, I remember I went to vote with my SWAPO t-shirt, and we had this culture where if you wear a jean, you would draw the maniki.
Opijin.
Opijin. So
see.
I would have the maniki right here, the whole jean. And I would stand there, because the only real opposition there was for SWAPO was the DTA.
Yeah.
Okay? So we made it very, very, very clear as to why we are here. Even though the instruction was by the UN, by UNTAC, don't come to the polls with any
party insignia,
whatever. Say, man, ons stel nie belang nie. Met 'n broek ek het daar by Tieu Kashimune gaan gestem. Nee? Ons het ons party colors gedra to show a force of strength. Finish and klaar.
Yeah.
Now, I think the situation is a little bit more polarizing at this moment.
Yes.
If I come with my SWAPO regalia there, you come with your IPC regalia, hierdie ene kom met sy LPM regalia en what. En daar's maybe een van ons het miskien net so 1 of 2 biertjies ingehaat. And it's in that queue. And I say something wrong of you. Say, julle wambos moet ophou steel. Daar begin dit net daarso, right there in the queue.
Yes, it can raise tensions. I understand. I also understand why it is advisable to not be wearing party colors.
Comments that, you know, that's just...
But it's weird. Somebody will be like, yeah, no, I want to wear my party colors. And then when you come there, who did you vote for? My vote is my secret. Yeah, but... It's interesting. All right, some more comments. As they van Wyk over, they bakkie gereed. Yeah, Ice boy.
Ice boy.
Ice boy van Wyk.
I was actually laughing because this Jason Iambo was sentenced to, he's going to do 9 months in prison. He was sentenced to 18 months, but none of those were suspended. Jason Iambo is, by the way, the guy that was trying to bribe an ACC investigator to get the bank cards of Pius and James.
Kan ons net hoor wat jy sê because you're whispering.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got earphones. I don't. I can hear myself. Okay. In any event, so that story was posted that he's going to jail because he pleaded guilty and he was sentenced. And somebody on Twitter responded, "See, this is what happens when you insist on being people's ice boys. You'll end up in prison." And I started laughing because there was actually a topic yesterday.
Yes.
So an ice boy is an actual thing, guys.
So can we safely say that the morning mix crew
We're setting trends.
invented the word ice boy?
No, we can't. It already existed.
Aye, jy moet net ja gesê.
This person that commented doesn't watch our show.
How do you know?
Yes.
Yeah, how do
You
you
see?
know?
He said,
Do you know that everybody watches the movie?
okay, I'll read it.
Everybody's watching our show. That's our story, Angie. Now check, being a loyal ice boy will get you. Aye, cool watch.
Being a loyal ice boy will get you jail time.
So I think from the report that you have there, Cubase,
Yes.
the allegation is that this could be James's ice boy, this guy who was sentenced.
Actually, I hear he was Fitty's ice boy,
Okay.
but maybe they used his services.
Who?
They used
Jason.
No, James Atwikulupi.
No, the guy that was sentenced name is Jason Iambo.
Yeah,
I
Jason
understand,
Iambo.
but they are linking him directly to James Atwikulupi.
Okay, let me just read here.
Yeah.
Hatwikulipi implicated over ACC bribe offer. As I haven't had to read this much since I was getting confirmed at the Orwano Church. Yes, an attempt to bribe an anti-corruption commission investigator in connection with the fish rod case earned Windhoek resident Jason Iambo an effective jail term of 9 months yesterday. The Windhoek resident who offered to pay a bribe of 250,000 in a bid to get hold of bank cards seized during the investigation of the fish rod fishing quotas corruption case says businessman James Hatwikulipi asked him if there was a way to get access to the cards.
Enko.
The 35-year-old Iambo, who was sentenced to an effective prison term of 9 months yesterday, implicated Hatwikulipi in a written statement in which he admitted guilt on a charge of attempting to defeat or obstruct the course of justice. In the statement, which was given to Magistrate Ivan Kavanagh when Iambo admitted guilt in the Windhoek Magistrates Court last week, has said Hatwikulipi asked him if there was a way to get hold of the bank cards seized by the Anti-Corruption Commission when he visited Hatwikulipi in jail following his arrest. Iambo also said Hatwikulipi informed him that he needed to pay for things like cattle feed and vaccines needed at his farm, and that his bank cards had been taken by the ACC, and then asked him if there was a way to get a hold of the cards.
Yeah.
That sentence keeps coming back. They mention it almost 3 times in the first 2 paragraphs. Is there a way to get it?
James het net gevra as daar way, okay?
Miskien check it dat plan my bra.
Yeah, I mean, a question is just a question. Miskien daar's a way, miskien daar's nie 'n way nie. So, mense moet net vir James die storie uitlos.
But I think like every time I look at these guys, I try to figure out who is probably the one who's in the hottest water. But it seems like all of them. Every time the wheel turns, it drags another one even deeper into the hot waters. Yeah, dis is almal 'n groot probleem.
It's been a year.
I mean, but for me, this again just raises red flags on the banking institutions.
Yeah.
Because assuming he could get those bank cards, is it because there's no monitoring on his transactions?
Yes.
That these guys can just go pull money whenever?
I mean, we were under the illusion that the accounts were frozen anyway.
Yeah. Because I was also like, okay, but if the accounts are frozen, why would you pay 250,000
to get a card that you can't use?
That you can't use. But then, okay, even they knew their accounts are no longer frozen.
Yes.
Okay, so, but then it's like the fact that you were not afraid to try and get your hands on those cards because there's no monitoring on your transactions. Like imagine he's in jail and elke dag word daar net geld getrek.
Van jou rekeninge. And somebody implicated in financial crimes.
Yeah.
Guys.
So the banks would just be quiet, like it wouldn't.
I mean, I remember when the story came out of them paying off or paying their debt to the banks, the farm debt. That 11 million. The response,
that's still sketchy, right?
The response from the ACC was they had no idea. They had no idea that there was even activity or that these guys' accounts were not frozen. I'm like, what kind of ragtag investigative group are you guys?
The ragtagger.
Yeah. Some gapetch was nana klere.
In my mind, I'm a very visual person, but like my mind always exaggerates the scenery. So I just imagine this guy in front of like this big monitor, right? And all these fish rod accounts are there in front. And just when one moves, then he presses a red button like, then he goes, and it just sends alarm, and then the ACC is aware, and everything, you know. In my mind, that's what should be happening.
That's what we think. We kind of picture this sophisticated system where, you know, if something happens somewhere, it's reported to those guys, and those guys also immediately know. But in actual fact, it seems like these guys, each one is operating pretty much independently of the other one. It's crazy. Craziness.
No, it's crazy.
Ja, joh. Alright, kom ons lees 'n paar comments. Martin Emutoni says, James is a gomcha. Come on, gotcha. Namibian mafia. Estomi, Jay and Ronnie Joe you actually like Ronnie's because even the other Ronnie, you guys have a lot of conversations here. But anyway, she's saying, Ronnie Joe, ask him. I hear he only takes US dollars. With his chickens, eating 20 chickens might be enough. Okay, I'm not. I don't know what the conversation about.
I think just ignore the private conversations because then they dilutes the conversation. Here we don't know what they're talking about. They're talking to each other.
We can't read comments of you guys talking to each other.
Yeah.
We can only read the comments where you guys
Talk to us.
talk to us and give
Yes. Or talk to the group, at least.
direct definition as to the topic.
Yes. Nak Baby Ferris, I will be selling Ama Fish Road t-shirts for the festive. Get your swagger now.
Hey,
Why would anybody want to wear fish rod shirt?
it's a cool t-shirt.
Ze wil probleem gaan zoek by die kus.
Nee, hallo, hallo, Ritwapi. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Lower the temperature here, like Joe Biden says. Can you imagine wearing a t-shirt?
With the bones of a fish.
No, and you just say fish rod. I'm a fish rod.
I'm a fish
Or just
rod.
something very creative.
But what would
Very
I'm a fish rod
rude.
mean now? Because it has to mean something.
No. Even just the word in itself. Anybody who has the guts to.
Yeah, but I'm saying it has to symbolize something. So when you say I'm a fish rod, is it because you're corrupt? Is it because you are fighting corruption?
I'm a fish rod.
Yeah, what? But it has to mean something.
No,
And that word doesn't mean anything yet.
You were born in the fish rod era.
Yeah.
I'm a fish rod.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool idea. I think it's
I'm a fish
cool
rod. Ja, nee, Jay Knuckles kan maar gaan die t-shirts verkoop.
I think give it some thought and just come. It could work if you do it properly. Like it has to have some. Yeah, it has to have some meaning. You know.
Yeah. Like if you say I'm a fish rod, then you put like maybe the Swapo insignia there or something like that. Damon Shandero, yo, his dreams.
Man is BSR.
Look, there was a story yesterday that I wanted us to get to, that we never did, about that headquarters. That was also in the newspapers.
What headquarters?
The Swapo headquarters, which is under construction.
Okay.
But anyway, that's
You
not
must
the.
give us context,
That's the topic for vandaag. Damon Shandere, yo, his dreams of becoming a grote got crushed while he was doing his Ice Boy internship. Net so. As you know, he's saying
Dreams cut short.
he's fitless Ice Boy. He was busy building Fitty's house.
Okay.
Yeah, Nak Baby, I guess he was the runner for the group.
I see.
Nak Baby Ferris, so, as hy 9 months gekry het, dan kan die ander boys mos ook baie lig gestamp word. No, but like his crime is relatively small compared to theirs.
Yeah. Relative. We're using the word relative.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very, very small.
Yes.
Because we are comparing it to theirs.
To theirs, yes. Of course, bribing a state official is not a small crime.
Yeah.
But if I put you next to somebody who stole millions and millions of dollars, of course, your crime looks a bit smaller in comparison. Tatio Castens, Neville, you didn't guys have printers in those days, or didn't you guys have printers in those days?
Printers?
Nee, om kama van mannetjie te print op die jean. Nee, bro, teken homself met dat koggie pen.
Come on, man. It showed our level of creativity back then.
They was the Sharpie boys like
Yo.
Donald Trump.
Was it gadro?
I remember they was altyd lekker geweest. And if something goes wrong, like jy het miskien die kop 'n bietjie te groot geteken, dan wil jy nie weer daai jean aantrek nie.
Yeah.
All right, I'm a fish rod symbolizes Namibians' economic downfall, says Braji Kontep.
Okay. So why, when you wear it on a t-shirt, is now what?
Twalolok. Braji Kontep, I know, Mutatio Castens, pardon me. Braji lost toch vir Swapo 8 meneer. Ek het niks gesê nie. I didn't say anything. You guys can do bad all by yourselves. You don't need me. Guyton Curtis, Maria, it symbolizes a current situation. Current situation.
You see, the fact that already two people understand it to mean two different things. That's what I'm saying. It must be undisputed what it means. Then it's successful. It's like when you saw Okamanit, you know what it was.
Yeah. It's like I'm a keep. We also don't know what I'm a keep is, but we
but it's a...
And Maria,
but I'm a keep is those popcorns, the colorful popcorns from the townships.
I didn't know they're called keep.
Yeah, but it started from South Africa. I'm a keep. It's those just like our ice lollies or whatever. So in the township there were these popcorns, the colorful ones. They were called Amakip-Kips.
I know the popcorns you're talking about, the
Yeah.
ones that are coated with
Yeah, so they were called
sugar and
yes,
different
they were
colours,
called
yeah.
Amakipi. So this guy just started a township brand to celebrate, their youth and.
Sometimes a message, sometimes you get like a painting. Sometimes things are just abstract.
Yeah.
You just look at it and you're not too sure what it means.
But you just like it.
But you just like it. So, fish rod met a vrot viskop.
Yeah.
At last year's Kasi Vibe, there were shirts being sold. They says, you, HR, is it HR or, you know that lady that was leaving Home Affairs? You says you and Jala.
Yeah.
You and Jala. And everybody knew what that was.
Yeah.
But you
Is it
tied
that
into
but so
yeah,
stunned?
you and Jala. Somebody, if nobody passed away in your family, somebody in my family passed away.
Yeah.
If
If somebody can post that video again. But Zaliki so stunned.
Yeah, you and Jala.
So what was she doing?
She was Zimbukaing.
She was Zimbu. She left the office early.
She left the office early.
Yeah.
So she was
So HR,
confronted.
the Njala, which is a guy from HR, must now caught her. So he's like, why
And
you
he's filming
leaving?
her.
He's filming. Is like, why you leaving the office early?
Yeah.
She's like, no, because somebody in my family passed away. If nobody in your family passed away, like it's not my problem.
Yeah.
She was like, no, but you must like report.
Yeah.
You can't just Zimbuka.
And then,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so she just, and then I think she just crossed the street.
Yeah,
or
she
something.
she went home.
Yeah.
When we used to go for the communication center thing, COVID. Guys, really stand out there. I remember.
She's always there.
You
Like, I
and
want to
Jala.
go home. I don't want to be here. Yeah.
No, interesting. I think maybe further abroad.
Where's further
Guys,
abroad?
what is happening in South Africa, not in South Africa, let's say rather Malawi. What is the state of Bushiri at the moment in Malawi? He's been arrested and he was granted bail
In Malawi.
in Malawi.
Okay.
How can they grant him bail?
Yeah.
Pura,
that's-
julle wat ken.
Then why arrest?
No. I think, hey,
Like for
this
instance,
Malawian government is complicit in this.
what was the charge that they arrested him for in Malawi?
Pura.
I mean, if they arrested him for crimes he committed in South Africa, they were supposed to send him to South Africa before even granting him bail. So
Pura.
why did they arrest him in the first place?
Yeah, and grant him bail.
Yes.
Yeah. Dion
Ella,
said.
he also did not have a passport, but he left South Africa.
The
So
bail
don't tell me
condition is
nonsense.
not to leave Malawi.
So Dion says, Njala was here trying to say HRI in Oshwambo. I know there was that. That conversation that she's actually trying to say HR, but it was actually confirmed that she was saying Njala. The HR guy is called Njala. So.
Nee, ek glo nie jou storie nie.
No,
Maria.
it was confirmed.
I believe that
Yeah.
version.
No,
Yeah.
we also initially wanted to believe that version. She's like, hey, Njala, but she's saying HR. HR Njala, but no, it is actually Njala.
Yeah, so
Okay. We can't because we can
no,
hear you.
because you guys are talking there.
You guys do that all the time, and I'm talking to
No, we can't hear.
The
We can't
audience
hear
can hear
ourselves.
you.
Okay, sorry. I'll sort it out. Bye, get out of my shot.
Ja, Zibuka.
Waar was ons? En by the way, as julle boere hier in die studio sien, moenie skrik jy sien Ballot wat hulle so goed ook opkom getel het. Ons is besig om te set up for the second part of the show this morning.
Yeah, as we say, we're not going to be cutting the stream.
Yeah.
We just want Wambos to leave the studio. Want daar kom klomp boere hier so. Okay? So if you are Wambo and you are in the studio, we can't mention you by name. So as my mense inkom, then some of you people must leave.
Yeah. Nee, ek en Miriam
I want you guys to watch very, very closely while the dynamics change to Neville becoming the ice boy now. You're about to watch this live.
Come on.
Neville is about to become the ice boy.
Nee, like alles mos ice toppies. Of what was the phrase yesterday?
Ice toppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, the fitness in dynamic competition is going down to Swakopmund.
Yeah.
On the 18th and the 19th of December. quite an event, and we obviously foresee that Swakopmund will really be packed this year because there are a lot of people, myself included, who didn't really go to Swakopmund during the year. And just some of the activities that one can obviously go and attend and to go and watch. Ons gaan mos saam, Maria.
Sal daar wees.
Yeah, ons gaan saam gaan. When are you going down?
I'm just going for that. I think I'll go the day before. And
okay.
And I'll probably just stay the weekend and then Sunday.
Ons is saam.
It's a 2-day event, but then of course we're going to be giving you more details around that as soon as
around 10ish.
Yeah, around 10ish when some of the sponsors also start joining us in the studio. Now here's something interesting for you guys who are either in the coast or heading to the coast. We are also giving away 100 Namibian dollar meal vouchers to Altstad restaurant in Swakopmund. All right, we're not going to start that competition this morning, but you guys be aware of that. As of next Friday, you can walk away with either two. No, actually, we just give one per person, but we're going to be giving away 2 every Friday from now up until festive season, basically.
Daar's te veel landis in hierdie kant.
Ek sê almost.
Allemaal.
You're becoming an endangered
Then I start
species.
getting anxiety.
Getting anxiety.
Start getting anxiety.
When singing as net ons is in the studio and stuff, then I feel so light until the line is walking here, and then I feel so dark.
But is there something wrong with feeling dark?
Nee, I'm just saying, julle is so donker, julle laat voel vir my soos 'n Lani hier so in die studio. And until the real Lani's rock up, like, yeah. Sit. All right.
Kom ons hoor wat sê die mense.
Hoe Neville is diep vas.
Ek is diep.
Vals.
Is ek vals?
You're about to see all of it go down.
Wie is hy?
Is koningsdogter, Ethel.
Hey, Ethel, gaan speel.
Dion Chimsi's a laugh out loud. Maria just reminded Neville that he is an ice toppy. Ice toppy. They arrested Bushiri as a runaway kid from home, apparently. We will impose dated compassionate leave forms in the government. We fill in.
Post-dated?
Yes, post-dated leave forms.
Okay.
So basically, ons vat leave en dan kom val ons die vorms in as ons terug is.
For what now?
It's most ministry.
Is it no volgens die Zaliki? I see.
In the government. It's like, I will report you. Now do what you want, I don't care.
But you must be an extremely poor worker if you get fired as a government official.
A civil servant.
As a civil servant. Ja, so dat jy swak.
Maar die mense vat 2 ure lunches.
Die mense vat, I mean, the way they hang around Shoprite goede, and the way they walk back to government office park.
Yeah.
You be at home affairs you're in front of the officer.
Yes.
And it's just opposite phone. I told the weekend.
Imagine how bad.
I told him he mustn't play with me. I told him if he wants to play, he must go play with his mother. Because I am. Wait, I'm on the phone. Wait. They'll just continue that.
It's like, what do you want? You have the wrong form. Yeah, and what? I'm like, oh, go on. And then you're just standing there thinking, man,
like, what are you gonna do?
Some of them shut that cubicle
and
a minute before 1. Say, I'm going on lunch now.
Yeah.
You're next in line, so
you are next in line.
Yeah.
Like, my thing will just be 1 minute.
No, you must come back after 2.
Yeah, come back.
I also have to eat.
Yeah,
I also have to eat.
Yeah, I hear that one a lot.
I also have to eat.
I'm also hungry. I'm a human being. I must eat.
Now imagine how bad of an employee you have to be fired from government. If Mike was only fired this week, or was it last week?
Yeah.
And he's been in jail for a year.
Yeah. Less than a year.
Yeah, almost a year.
I think Mike went in like maybe 3,
yes, he was the last
4
one
months
to be picked up.
after that.
Yeah, I think he went in this year.
Yes, I remember, yes.
Yeah.
Correction. Thank you, Neville. Did you guys talk about 92 independent candidates on the ballot papers? Katutura East and Central have a total of 7. I am seeing some do not have followers even on the social media. Do you think they have wasted their resources? Only they will know, I guess, Jacob. I haven't even seen the ballot papers.
So, guys, what do you want? Do you want now? Last year you were complaining about the EVMs. So, is there now a general complaint now about the ballot papers now?
No.
What?
The question was about
the 92 candidates.
The overwhelming amount of independent candidates, some of whom
independent candidates.
Yes, some of whom don't even have following even on social media. So
that's
what?
Right.
Yeah.
I also think this independent candidacy thing will obviously, somewhere it will probably find its feet in the political setup of Namibia. It's something new to all of us. Whether it's sustainable, we still don't know. There's this euphoria of following for certain independent candidates. If it works, it works. But only time will tell whether it's sustainable if you're not linked to a specific political party.
My only problem is having too many choices, too many candidates. Like in all honesty, most of these candidates, more than anything else, they split the opposition vote. They don't really chip into the ruling party's vote that much. So it weakens the opposition instead of what they are trying to do, which is of course weaken the ruling party. So I don't know. Should we have a system that maybe vets people before they are able to run? Like, because I know, like for instance, in the States, the amount of funding that you are able to raise sort of determines how far how far you can go.
But Michael Bloomberg is mega rich.
Yeah, Michael Bloomberg would put up the money himself.
He will put up the money himself, yes. And obviously, he stood no chance,
of course, against
Donald Trump. And that is why, luckily, through God's grace, we have Joe Biden. You can call him Sleepy Joe. He's slow and he's old and he stutters and God knows what. But he made it. And that is just all that we are thankful in the U.S.
He's the one who got the victory.
That's it.
And it's interesting. It's particularly interesting. I'm really curious to see how the next 5 years are going to go. Because, I mean, at the age of 78, I'm sure he's not going to run for a second term. And he has even pronounced himself. So are we looking at a potential Kamala Harris presidential run in 5 years? Is it possible that America could have their first black woman presidential candidate?
That could be.
Maybe running against Trump again as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
But closer to home, I think again it's not the second round for the IPC or for Itula. To show himself in local elections. We were gripped by the euphoria of the presidential race last year between President Geingob and Itula. So it remains to be seen how sustainable his charge is in terms of projecting any political influence in the country. It remains to be seen.
And I think this election is particularly important, especially for the opposition. Yeah. Because, I mean, we have, I guess, we will want to see what they do with the constituencies that they win over the next 4 years. Because, I mean, probably all of these parties are also going to be in the presidential run come 2024.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how many seats in the lower house of parliament they actually do pick up, and then of course what they are able to achieve, or what change they are able to bring to the constituencies that they do get a hold of. The lady must be a veteran. No need to report. They fought for this country. The Njala video.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Nag Baby Ferris is saying the meaning is that it's festive season and everyone is Moskama having money.
Yeah.
A rich auntie, there will be a lekker boob tubes for the ladies. What is boob tubes, you guys? Yeah, so there's also going to be a fish rod boob tubes.
Do a rich auntie t-shirt.
Can you the controversy seeing Maria in one
In
of
a
those
rich auntie
t-shirts?
t-shirt.
I'm a good one.
Imagine.
Damon is saying Trump probably won't try to run again in 5 years. Don't be surprised if we see one of his kids trying to run for POTUS.
Oh,
Though, which one? They're
dumbest kids.
yes.
Oh,
Which, like, if you look at the which
Junior.
one? Maybe the other daughter. What's the other daughter that he never
that's
talks
okay.
about? Ivana or whatever.
Ivanka.
No, Ivanka is the one.
No, Ivanka is the favorite.
Yes, he has another daughter that he never mentions.
Yeah, the one from
No,
his second marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she's gonna run for president. Yeah.
Ek het nog nie so 'n dom familie gesien in my lewe.
Yeah, and Damon continues to say, I do believe Kamala will eventually be America's first female POTUS.
If can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I don't think America is ready for that.
Why?
No, because the country is so divided. Let's remind ourselves that 73 million people voted not for the Republican Party, they voted for Trump.
Yes.
73 million.
And 78 million voted for
Biden.
For Joe Biden, yes.
Yeah. But those were, I think...
And remember, Joe Biden is also sort of the buffer zone because his term would be in between any potential Kamala term and of course, Donald Trump's last term.
We would love to see that. I would love to see a female black president of the United States.
Yeah.
Not even Hillary could surpass something like that.
Her name is Tiffany Trump, apparently.
Tiffany, yes.
Tiffany Trump.
Tiffany.
She looks like her dad.
She looks...
Is that why he doesn't like her? That guy knows everything that is wrong with
Actually,
this
most
one.
of the Trump kids look like that. I think only Ivanka looks like the mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Die res lyk soos die pa, die boys lyk soos die pa, die ene, die Melania se seentjie lyk soos die pa. Tiffany lyk soos die pa.
Yeah. Ivanka looks like the mom, and that's why Donald Trump is unhealthily fond of her. Vanessa Guibeb, I'm not sure if the U.S. is ready for a female president either. Maria is cold and serious today.
Vanessa-
Suffrage auntie. Vanessa, why do you say so? Because I know that you also lived in the States for quite some time before you came back to Namibia. So, what informs your opinion?
Nou Vanessa, wanneer gaan jy ook? Ons het mos gepraat ka. I'm talking to Vanessa, okay?
Waarvan ken jy vir
I'm
Vanessa?
not talking to you or I'm not talking to you. Yeah.
It's a wie, wat se goed is die? So you're also hanging with ice toppies now?
Vanessa, laat weet my wanneer gaan jy? So ons gaan saam ka.
Yeah, yo.
So what is she saying? She doesn't think that?
America is ready for a female president.
I don't think.
Why
I
do
mean,
you think so?
but-
I think the problem with the U.S. political system as it stands are most of the guys who are in Congress.
May I just add, I mean, this was what people were saying about Obama. I said, I don't think America is ready for a black president.
Yeah. And that nigga killed it, man.
He's still killing it.
No, I think after what America went through with George W. Bush,
Yeah.
the turmoil that he caused globally, Obama was the right guy to basically restore the image of America
Yes.
Yeah.
globally. That's
But-
how they saw him.
Obama did what I sort of suspect Joe Biden is going to do. Because you see, Bush was also so far to the right, or is
Yeah,
it-
yeah, conservative, yeah, to
and
the right.
and so was Trump, so far to the right. I think Joe Biden is going to bring them a bit more towards a centrist position, and then of course maybe if you have another Democratic president in the next elections, you might have somebody who's a bit
you're right.
more leftist.
Yeah.
Right?
But I do think even Trump is way more right than what Bush was.
Yes. No, Trump has broken all the barriers. He's broken all the knobs. It's as if his whole mission was to just come and, like he said he would, come break the system.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Trump's daughter-in-law, Lara, is running for Senate in North Carolina, and Trump will apparently run again in 2024 if he fails to prove his election rigging claims, according to the news this morning.
Okay.
These guys are diabolical. They are arguing over like 900 and some odd disputed ballots to try and overturn an election where he's trailing by 14,000. Like, what is 900? Even if all those 900 ballots go to Trump, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to chew into that 14,000. Yes, it's over.
It's clear.
I don't get why some are still not understanding this, but it is over. It is over for the Trump presidency. All right, anyway, because racist people tend to be even more misogynistic, and Kamala ticks both of the boxes for their hate. She's black.
Yes.
And she's a woman.
Yes.
I get it, but at least to forget that in terms of numbers, I understand that she wasn't black, but in terms of numbers, Hillary had actually more numbers than Trump.
Yes, Hillary got the popular vote.
Yes, Hillary got the popular. She's a woman. Yes, I understand a white woman, but a woman nonetheless.
Yes.
And so let's see how Kamala does.
You know what I think? I think we are going to have another Obama in the White House at some point.
Yeah.
I think Barack and Hillary are going to be like, Bill, this is how you do it. Yeah. Very saying Republicans are proving that mental illness is real, guys. It is shocking. No, you can't call all of them mentally ill. Some people are honestly supporting Trump because some of Trump's policies are good for them.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You know, everybody's sort of voting their interests. Gaitan is saying, Uncle Neville, read the note. Which note?
I can, man.
When are we starting with this thing, Anna?
Yeah, we're going to start now. They're outside, so
Okay,
you will be... Okay, before you leave, so what's up for the weekend? Let's quickly just...
Oh yeah, it's Vrijdag, ne?
Yeah, it's Vrijdag. It's not Thursday today, okay? It's not Thursday.
I was going to come to work tomorrow.
It's moeilijk slap.
Nee, because
what have
you know
been doing while we are sleeping?
I don't know. I think I've been struggling with insomnia the past few days.
That happens when you're flying around on brooms while other people are sleeping.
No problem. I must stop voodooing people. We take a break from the voodoo magic stuff.
Because I'm happy that, you know, I didn't mention it, okay? But ek kyk jou hierdie hele show kyk ek vir jou deur. At least Vanessa said it, okay?
Was it Vanessa? I think it was somebody else.
No, it was Vanessa. She said it. Like, Kenny, wat is met jou vandag?
Nee, it wasn't Vanessa. It was iemand anders. It's just you got confused because you read Vanessa's
I stopped him. It was Vanessa.
Is it? Okay, but yeah, I mean, I am tired.
So.
Shines kom masseer toch van Maria te doen.
Ja. Vat vir Maria uit, nee? Then you go and massage Maria, okay?
No, it was Martin who told me, say, Maria is cold and serious today. Stop for each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you want to give me a massage?
Yeah. Damon is saying Trump is that kid that walks into the playground and starts breaking and taking the other kids' toys just for fun. Yes, there must be chaos. I only function properly in chaos. Vanessa, I just think a female president is too progressive of a move at this point in time.
True.
Yeah,
like I get what Vanessa is saying, but like again, like I said, it's also what people thought with Barack. They said, it's too Americans are not ready for a black president, and they're not as progressive. They're still anti-black, blah blah blah. And he became one. He got 2 terms. So
I think Barack was really it was really a breakthrough, and it was not even a black man named like Richard something. It's like Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah,
that's black. Yeah, and so I think, you know, I mean, we also thought America would never go for a bigot like Donald Trump, and they surprised us. So at this point in time, anything goes.
So let me love and leave you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the show. The streaming will continue as you stated.
Chip. I'm also going to be leaving studio. Neville is going to be handling your controls. He's going to be...
Yeah. Okay. You for some of you who are interested to keep on watching the stream, the fitness in the Namib.
Fittest in the Namib.
Yeah. Competition is happening down in Swakopmund. So we will not be cutting the stream. We have some guests who will be coming into the studio periodically, and we will have the opportunity to speak to them. Our first guest that we have in the studio, Manny, jy kan maar verbykom. Ja, kom sit hierso. Ja. So, and for all of you out there who will remain on the stream, please feel free to continue to send in your comments and your opinions as we speak. We have our title sponsor, Manny Heymans, who's in the studio here today, to come and chat us a little bit about the upcoming fitness in the Namib.
Fittest in the Namib. Fittest in the Namib.
Okay, it's the fittest in the Namib competition.
That's right.
Yeah, Manny, goeiemôre.
Goeiemôre, good morning out there.
Good morning. It is such an honor to have you in the studio here this morning. Kjobie sê tog môre vir die man.
Goeiemôre, Manny.
Goeiemôre, ja, en it's the eerste keer wat ek hier is, first time.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, I've never been here.
Okay.
And let's hope it's not the last time also. Yes,
yeah, it's
yes
definitely
indeed.
not the last time. Manny, sê gou bietjie. Wait. Before we start, okay? Manny, you've been involved in, I mean, you're a brand on its own, basically. And you're probably a guy who doesn't really want to talk about himself. But we need to obviously give a little bit of context as to what is your history in terms of sport, fitness, etc. Because old school, old head that we have here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know for the people out there that doesn't know me. I mean, I'm a 3-time Olympian, so I've represented Namibia at 3 Olympic Games for Namibia. Mm-hmm. So 2000 Sydney, 2004 Athens, and 2008 in Beijing. I've also been there as a mechanic and a manager in 2012 with Mark Bassingswaite in London, and also in 2016. You know, so I mean, yeah, I made my name in the cycling industry.
Yes.
Been professional in Europe since 1999. I think for about 12 or 13 years, and you know, yeah. Not only cycling for myself, but you know, also you know, giving back to the youngsters. You know, I've got a couple of teams running underneath me, and yeah, there's so much more to come. I've started a new pain cave next to my bike shop. Started a gym and a spin studio and a laboratorium where, as of next year, I will be testing athletes and stuff like that. You know, so it's something very prosperous and very. I'm actually looking forward to 2021.
No, it's good to hear that at least, like unlike some of us, you're still keeping fit after your golden years have passed.
Yeah, well, you know, we have to, eh? If you wanna enjoy a couple of brown Fantas, you know, you also have to do something.
Verstaan jy. Manny, maybe you can just obviously just share with us as to in what capacity you will be involved in the fitness in the Namib competition, which happens on the 18th and the 19th of November.
December.
December. 18th and 19th of December in Swakopmund.
Yeah, well, I mean, this also came up, you know, so last year there was a show in Swakopmund that I attended. And then I met Dave and Buttons, you know, and they said they've got this Fittest in the Namib competition, and their main sponsor withdrew. And, you know, and that was in a point in time where I thought, you know, it's maybe a good thing to get my name out in some other sport codes than only in cycling. You know, and I asked him to send me the proposal. He sent it through to me, and you know, like I went through it, and then later that night I said to him, send me the invoice, and you know, I'll happy to take up the main sponsorship for Fittest in the Namib. You know, so last year it was something new. I think there were 42 teams. I'm happy to say this year they've sold out. They've upped it from 70 to 80 teams, so it's sold out. So no more entries can be taken. And I mean,
how many entries do we have?
It's 80 teams.
80 teams.
Yeah. So
wow.
They upped it. I think they were gunning for 70. I mean, don't quote me there, but yeah, I've just read that they've upped the numbers, and it's fully sold out at 80 teams. You know, so that just shows you that people are hungry to do something different. Again, about all the watts. that the people are talking about. I mean, there will be there will be fat bike involved there. There will be swimming involved there, and then all the other
that's
CrossFit disciplines.
It's what I wanted to ask, because we are mentioning fittest in the Namib, but I'm sure a couple of our viewers and listeners are wondering, but what exactly is the fittest in Namibia? So maybe just give us a bit of an overview on the competition itself.
Yeah, so I mean, about the competition itself, like I said, I mean, I think they were going to kick off with fat bike riding in the dunes. So I mean, that is really going to challenge them. Yeah. Then there will be swimming in the ocean. I mean, that is something that will challenge them. Ooh. And then come all the CrossFit events. So they. The CrossFit people involved, they will be able to elaborate on all those things.
Understood.
I know they've opened up what events there will be or what watts there will be. I mean, that's all on social media. Like I said, I'm the presenting main sponsor, so that's where my involvement is there. Yeah. What the people are doing, I've seen them last year. It's just crazy. I mean, I just start cramping if I see them. So it's so different. If you're a good cyclist, don't think you are a good runner, and if you're a good runner, don't think you are a good weightlifter. Yeah. All these things. So with this fitness in the Namib, you have to be really versatile. I mean, that you have to have power, you have to have fitness,
endurance,
skill involved, endurance, everything. So.
No, ek moet nou vir jou vra, Manny. So, and there's a lot of people who are watching our stream at the moment. En jy sal miskien daar sal seker nog 'n paar comments seker miskien daar opkom. So, there are a lot of fat bikes that they will be riding through the dunes.
What is a fat bike?
Ag, wie hierdie ros nie. Wie jy laat
kan nou net perd ry my broer. Ek ken nie van fat bike.
Okay, is 'n fiets nie.
Dis nie 'n perd nie. Yeah, so for the people out there, fat bike, I mean, that's also something that came about 6-7 years ago. It's a bicycle with 4.5-inch tires. So the tire is as big as your car tire, but it's light. And I mean, I can actually cycle with my bicycle on the dunes. There where the guys with the fat cruisers are riding, the Toyota Land Cruisers.
Wow.
I cycle with my bicycle.
Wow, yes.
Maar wat ek nou eintlik net wil probeer sê, daar's nou ouens in die bay en in Swakop who's watching the stream now. So, just make sure that the riders actually get to their destination. Ek is net bang ons gaan 'n paar fat bikes gaan kry daar in Mondesa.
in the middle van die. No, so I mean, for this year, we last year the mountain biking wasn't, or the fat bike riding wasn't that challenging, I would say. So, but this year they've upped it. So, I think the teams will do laps of a certain route, and in half an hour, I think that is the what. They will see how many laps you can do in half an hour.
Oh,
split between the teammates. So there's it's always 2 in a team. So I mean, if you've got a good cyclist in the team, he might do like 20 minutes of riding, and the other one will do 10, or depends on how the people will do the what. Yeah.
Manny, thank you so much. Just one last question I wanted to ask you. You're basically the title sponsor. So the title sponsor per se, is it the Manny Heymans? Is it under your own name?
No.
Or is there
No, so the title sponsor is under Manny's Bike Maker. So it's under my bicycle shop.
Okay.
And I mean, Manny's Bike Maker, I've got the shop in Bintu.
Bike Maker.
Manny's Bike Maker.
Mecca. Okay.
So in short, MBM. So you can also visit my website, mbm.com.na.
Okay.
And I've also got a bike shop in Swakopmund. So Manny's Bike Maker is also in Swakopmund.
Okay.
And so we're covering all the important parts of the country.
Vielen Dank. Dankeschön. It's been und gut. Großer pleasure.
From my side, thank you all to you guys. Keep watching the show, and we hope to see you guys soon again.
Yes. Yeah, see you in Swakopmund. That was Manny Heymans, the title sponsor, who we had the opportunity to obviously come and give us some information as to the upcoming competition.
Yes.
Please, Dave, you may sit down. We will obviously be rotating them and just.
Do you have a paper there? Hoe ken jy al die boere se name?
Nee, hier is nie 'n boer. Hier is nie 'n boer nie.
No English with me only.
This man is an American.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so.
Good morning.
I met Dave. I met Dave Dave, how long ago was this? About 2 years ago.
At least, at the back of the dome.
2 to 3 years ago. That's when we met. And I was doing the opening of the dome.
Yeah, we did a 5-year grand opening.
Yeah.
We brought you into MC our... we had the president there and a big ordeal, and you told some jokes, and and then we had a little fun together as well.
Dave, it's such a pleasure to welcome you back, and this is obviously, and we obviously had a very nice discussion with Manny now, exactly as to his position as title sponsor for the upcoming event. So, what's your deal in all of this? Where did this start? And what brought you guys to do this?
Yeah, so obviously, my partner Buttons Haynes and myself, we own the company Connect People to People, and we specialize in running events. We do team building and conferencing, but events is more of our forte, and that's what I'm head of. I'm head of events.
Okay.
And obviously, we are not CrossFitters by any means, but the CrossFit community reached out to us about 18 months ago, and they said they need to host an event. But they'd like us to get involved with the event to make it a wow factor. They don't want to just host just a normal CrossFit event. We want to go big. And we talked about these things, and I had met QZ a few years back when he was training for the African Games, and I thought with the dome and the setting in Swakopmund, why couldn't we host like the real CrossFit stuff you see on TV? So I was like, this is actually an amazing sport as a spectator. So I said, I don't want to do it. But I said to sit in the stands, have a beer, and watch these athletes. It's absolutely amazing. So we got involved and we got hooked. Okay. And my partners from CrossFit Swakopmund and Skeleton Coast, they're the CrossFitters. They come up with the WODs and the ideas. But our company kind of comes up with the logistics, the sponsoring, the media, kind of putting a little Christmas wrapping around their present. And last year when we launched this event, we had a big media coverage, and we did the live streaming and interview people, and the athletes were blown away at how professional this was. And then, this year, it's a thing, in our second year, we've doubled our teams. My team told me today they've sold out the event. There's no more people even allowed. It's amazing. We
just spoke to Manny now, and he said, the number of entries that you guys have for this year was just quite phenomenal.
Yeah, we target, last year we had 41 teams, and then COVID hit, and now you're thinking, what are we going to do? Yeah. So we over-exaggerated. We said, we're going to go for 60.
Yeah.
And then 60 hit like last week, and then I asked my guys, how many more can we accommodate? And he says he can do another 20, because it's all on the equipment and stuff. And then we put to 80, and it sold out in 24 hours. And I just asked him this morning, can we go more? He said, no, we don't have enough equipment. We're max. So, amazing. And now we've got South Africans flying in. Apparently, we're attracting some really well-known CrossFitters, I think almost at the level that QZ was, that are now coming to compete. And that's the idea. This must become like our Namibian almost national championship. And, I had this debate with my business partner, who is the fittest athlete? I come from a background, I play hockey, he comes from boxing, there's rowers. So we wanted to know this thing, and that's when the fittest in Namib was born. Who is the fittest athlete? Because each one of these competitors, they all have a different background. One's a gymnast, one's a rugby player. It's the joke. And you look at Manny, he's one of the fittest Namibians to ever perform on a bike. QZ in his sport. And so it was this very interesting concept. And that's why in the disciplines, which I still don't even know all the workouts, it's still kind of like a secret, they test people in so many different physical attributes. So it's such a spectator event. These guys are walking on their hands, they're swimming, they're on kayaks, they're on fat bikes, they're doing so many different endurance activities. It's amazing.
This makes me tired just thinking about it. Cubase.
I'm just wondering, if I was sitting there actually watching, and of course I'm gonna be there this December as well. It's gonna be my first time to attend this CrossFit events.
No, the crowd, everyone's out of their seats, screaming and cheering, and you watch these guys, and they, they'll lift a bar or they do something, and they can't. Their body's done. And then the crowd motivates, and they somehow find this strength, and that bar is over their head.
That
and
final
the
push.
Going,
wow.
Last year was intense. There was these two Namibian girls. Ripped. I swear they're professionals. Everyone's got six packs, and you could see the girls in the crowd. They're just waiting for the men to take the shirts off, and then the shirts come off, and now it's serious.
Kom ons gaan, my bro. Kom ons gaan. We will also be taking our shirts.
No.
It's amazing. I mean, and to think this year now with having you guys involved, to think where the marketing is going to go, where the reach is going to be. Why can't we in 5 years host a major CrossFit event? Why not?
Like a continental
course,
event.
why not? We have everything, and with QZ being, he was the #1 in all of Africa 5 years ago. Now we can learn from his experience, and that's why he's one of our ambassadors. Imagine where we can take the sport.
Dave, it's really been a pleasure to have you in the studio. Apparently, the comments on the stream, as people are watching, is quite hectic in terms of the support, etc. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And obviously, as Mani said, that he's so excited to be part of this. And I think for you guys putting this up in the first place, I think it's going to be quite a mega event. So and the fact that you say you guys doubled this up this year,
it's amazing. All expectations have been brought, and I just hope this year the athletes are competitive. I hope it's not a landslide, and it lets the spectators at least not just cheer for the #1 pony. We can all cheer.
Cool.
But it'll be amazing. So thank you guys for joining us.
That was Dave Hammond, one of the organizers of the upcoming Fittest in the Namib.
Finally, you got it right.
Yeah, I got it right. Our next guest in the studio is none other but Quentin Jr. van Rooyen. He's going to come up, and we're going to grill him a little bit as to his involvement.
Jy wil gefire word. Don't grill the boss.
Ons worry nie, man. Ons het legal shield, man. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Man. Good. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be in the studio.
Good to have you in the studio.
QZ, welcome. We had such an interesting discussion with Mani Heymans, and then obviously with, what's his name again? Dave Hammond, yes. And they basically just gave us a quick peek as to what will be happening in Swakopmund. What is your involvement in all of this? Because you have a history in terms of CrossFit, etc. Maybe we should start there. Luister my broer. So 5-6 jaar gelede, I remember, and you just need to sit very quietly because we're going to blow your horn a little bit. Like 5-6 years ago, we're on a hunting trip, and we're listening, me and his father and a few guys, as to some information that needs to come through, because QZ was taking part in a fittest CrossFit competition for Africa. And he walked away with the title, and it was quite exciting. Maybe you can just give us a little bit of a history lesson there, what that was all about, how long you've been involved in the sport.
Neville, CrossFit, there's a bunch of guys that brought CrossFit to Namibia, I think 2013, late 2013. And they opened up a CrossFit gym, and part of the processes and programs they offered to clients was they went to corporates and gave CrossFit to the corporates. And Trusco signed up, and a whole crazy bunch of us took part on the sort of corporate program, and we got involved in CrossFit and started playing around with the movements. Long story short, the bug really bit me. And coming from a bit of an athletic and sort of powerlifting background, I jumped straight into CrossFit, and they brought some international skills and coaches for us, and we started training hectically for the Open. And 2014, that year, we qualified to go to the Africa Champs on an online qualifier basis. And lo and behold, we walked away with a title and took the qualification spot for the International CrossFit Games in California that year. And 4 months later, we found ourselves in California competing against the best and the fittest people in the world. I think we ended up on 35th or 36th, fittest person in the world at that stage. So
out of 6-7 billion people.
Correct. And that was quite something. Totally unexpected, I can tell you that much. And then CrossFit just blew out of its seams in the region, in South Africa and Namibia. And we from there on we competed in a lot of international competitions and placed good at some and not so good at others, and won a couple others after that. And fast forward to where we are today. I've sort of hung up my boots with competitive CrossFit. I still love the sport and love the training modality. Still follow it quite intensively, and still practice CrossFit at my home gym. But now with, I'm giving back a little bit to the community that supported me that time. A whole team of people flew down with us with that initial CrossFit competition. Is really quite something. And now I'm an ambassador for the sport locally. I helped the guys with the Fitness and Up last year with the inaugural event. It was a roaring success, and they've basically doubled up, and they can't keep up with the demand of athletes that want to take part. And that's where we are now.
I mean, seriously, how Cubase, kyk, by ons, ne? Ja, Kersfeestyd, ons wil gaan kabasa, ons wil drink. Now, for you guys to bring a competition like that during festive, December, what made you guys so sure that this will have such an impact at the time when people just want to relax, also die lus vir fiks wees and to look cool or whatever, ons wil net kabasa. Wat het julle laat glo regtig this is going to work?
Look, there's a couple of things you must understand in the Namibian culture, that the whole Namibia either moves to the north or to the coast, right?
Yeah. I see.
But you must also understand CrossFit culture and the incentives for the typical CrossFit athlete. Look, they like Instagram, they like Facebook, they like training in as little as possible clothes, and the men without their shirts. So these guys have been training the entire year, and for them to show up December in the peak of their conditioning of the whole years of training with cameras and the whole Namibia there, it's their time to shine.
Yeah.
So if you understand a little bit of that culture, then you realize why this event in December is so popular. There's plenty of CrossFit events throughout the year, but none of them is attended as hectically and participated as this one. So super excited. I can tell you the CrossFit athletes train all year round. There's no real such thing as off-season. They take, for instance, an off day where they relax and they go run 5 kilometers. The mense, at some point in time you realize you're going to take it easy, but once you're stuck into that CrossFit mode,
it ties into what Dave was saying also. It's an awesome spectator sport, and of course, like QZ is saying, ons gaan almal I mean, this is the perfect time to hold something like this.
Exactly.
That side of it,
QZ, in terms of the international competitors, like especially South Africans coming down, how much interest has there been with South African athletes coming down?
There was actually quite a lot of interest last year already, but the first competition, the typical CrossFit athletes first checked it out and see what the level of competition was and the level of programming. That they've made the cut now for that, but unfortunately COVID has hampered traveling back and forth a little bit. Something to consider. There was a lot of interest from South Africa, but there's so many uncertainties with travel restrictions in and out and COVID. So I think next year we'll probably have massive South African participation in this side, and then you'll see some of the big guns come up from the competition. I know there's a couple of South Africans that's planning a holiday around this and then participating in the competition, but unfortunately COVID has hampered a little bit the traveling plans.
That is QZ van Rooyen, or it's always difficult to call you Quentin. Everybody knows him as QZ. That's how we know him. So that is QZ van Rooyen, the brand ambassador of, what is the competition called?
Fittest in the Namib.
That's it.
Fittest in the Namib.
QZ, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We all so excited, and even for us as Trustco, being a media partner in this event is quite something for us. So we'll all be there with our families and our friends, and I think there's a lot of people. I don't know, wat sê die mense op die stream? Miskien vra die mense vir QZ iets op die stream. Vra daar so.
Kom ek kyk hier so.
Kyk eers gou-gou.
Daar's 'n paar comments. Soos hulle sê, ons is bang om comments te lees want die baas is hier.
No, lees die comments. Lees die comments. Is daar 'n vraag wat jy wil vra vir QZ?
Nee, maar daar is hier 'n vraag rondom wat ons besig is om te discuss. I think they are just listening and enjoying the conversation.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
cool,
Q Junior Klein Bass, no offense.
QZ, thank you so much for
Neville,
coming.
Cubase, thanks a lot, and we look forward to see you guys in Swakop.
So groot plezier.
Sharp. So that is what we have. I think in terms of the participation, in terms of the brand sponsors, everybody who's involved in this, it's quite. And you know what I say again? You know what, Cubase, for us to. We are so proud that we can be the media partner in all of this. So we will be playing quite a significant role in this.
Yeah.
And we're just out here to give this event the mileage that it deserves.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can. Who do we have up next?
You swap with King.
Okay.
And the husband and wife team, they're going to go there.
Okay.
And Werner's going to come here.
Okay.
Okay. Neville, can you move that chair out first?
Yeah. This one?
Yeah. Put this in there first.
Neville, so I'm going to hand over the controls to you, right? Meneer Basson?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys, from myself, Cubase, of course, enjoy the weekend. I'm back on Monday. And also don't forget, between 10 and 12, we've got the hour streaming live with Hannes Kaufman, as well as Tate Nawanes.
Move asseblief.
Let me also get out of your shot.
Listen. Jy moet hoor wat sê Ethel Koningsdogter Visagie. Hoor hoe change Cubase slang na American English.
English, huh?
Yeah, apparently when what's his name was here in the studio. So good morning, guys.
Morning. How's it going?
It's really a pleasure to welcome you guys here in the studio. We're so much looking forward to this upcoming event. I think maybe first and foremost, you guys can just introduce yourselves, and then we can take it from there.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm Janke Rental. I'm from CrossFit Swakopmund. I'm one of the organizers also of the event. But yes, last year I didn't compete. This year I'm competing. So for the RX ladies. So yes, the game is on for them and all of us.
Okay.
Timo Rental, hopefully her husband. I'm the
No. You're not the husband. She's your wife.
Yes.
I'm his project manager.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other project manager. So yeah, I'm looking at this event. I'm technical, so I will set up the rig, the arenas where we do the competitions, and then I'm also planning all the workouts for these competitions.
Good. I'm Van Arends from Office Bay. I own Skeleton Coast CrossFit. We've been running since 2015, and I am in the team as a head judge. So I'll be making sure everyone's following the standards for the movements, making sure that people aren't jibboing and cutting corners, keeping an eye on things.
And giving no reps.
Giving plenty of no reps.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, maybe you can just give us a little bit of context in terms of what kind of, because there are a lot of people who are watching the stream who doesn't have any idea as to what a competition like this entails. Maybe you guys can just give, context as to what kind of exercises or obstacles we're talking about here that we can expect, because there's going to be a lot of people who's going to be in Swakopmund and they would love to go and see what this is all about. We just heard fat bikes and Manny Heymans het hier gepraat oor 'n fat bike and so gee ons 'n bietjie context as to what we're talking about.
Okay, so CrossFit is basically where you cater for all the domains in the fitness industry. You have to do running, cycling, swimming, weightlifting, Olympic lifting is...
Okay, wacht nou eers gou. Running?
Yes.
Cycling? Weightlifting? Okay, wat nog?
Gymnastics.
Swimming.
Handstand?
Yes.
You name it.
Okay.
Muscle ups.
Yeah, handstand walks, pistols.
Okay, nou wat is dit nou? What is muscle ups?
So muscle ups is when you have a pull-up rig.
Okay.
Where normal guys in the gym do pull-ups.
Like chin-ups.
Yeah,
chin-ups.
Chin-ups.
Okay.
Chest to bars. Then the next version of that is going to pull-up, so you pull yourself over the bar.
Up.
So as you pull yourself up chest to the bar, you're going to get up and push yourself up. So the bar is going to be under you.
So it's plus a dip.
So
that's plus a dip, eh?
Yes, at the top.
I see.
The ending position.
Okay, that I've never done.
Yet, you haven't done it yet.
Okay.
So you're going to come and try?
I'll be in Swakopmund because it's one of the things I told Q's is, you know what, I do try and stay fit during the year.
Correct.
Maar my December month is normally exclusively catered vir drinksessies. So ek weet nie of ek die tyd gaan hê even try and attempt a little pull-up near, but it would be interesting to go and see.
Will you be there for the event?
Yeah, no, I'll be there because I'll obviously, in terms of the media team, I'll be.
That'll be very good. Or maybe we can discuss with the team to have one little workout just for you.
Yes.
See where you can show. Maybe you're going to be representing the media team for Trustco.
Jesus Christ. I'm
we'll
just
give you
tired.
a special one.
And it was maybe consists of how many beers for time? How quick?
Oh yeah, no, that would definitely
be
be quite a challenge.
Or burpee beer burpees.
Aha, that I can challenge you on. Okay.
I'm going to lose totally. You're going to win.
So I understand that in terms of the participation we have, you guys basically doubled up your numbers compared to last year.
That's correct.
So the excitement seems to be quite high in terms of what we can expect from the competitors out there.
Yeah, competitors-wise, but me working out all the planning and
Yeah.
all that, I'm stressing a little bit just to make sure that the event is going to run smoothly.
And he's moving a lot of weight that day, putting out all the weights and making sure the safety of the rig for the athletes and making sure all the athletes are going to have enough weights and making sure the athletes are happy.
Okay.
We were originally catering for 60 teams, and then it blew up until 80. So we've hit a milestone here this time.
Yeah, it's like, when was it, on this week, Tuesday or Monday? It was 62 already. And then we put out the number saying there's only 8 teams left. And it's like 1 hour, it was fully booked.
You know what? Our morning mix show is a buzz of people who make jokes, whether it's cultural jokes or because there's no structure that we keep here. And we have people who constantly comment on our show and on our stream. And the comments that we have here are baie snacks. Vedi Kayere say, all those fitness coats, ons dakkies is uitgesny, ons is nie daar nie. It's one of the comments. Skeleton Coast, Warfish Bay, the best. Mike, there's also a comment. My cousin says if he exercises, he will disappear. Apparently, he is waiting for the fattest in Namibia. Vanessa Guibeb say, "Ooh, julle is baie stout in the studio." So from your side, in terms of the demographics, male, female competitors, how does that compare at this moment in time?
This year, it's actually a little bit more equal than last year.
Okay.
But if you look at our boxes, like my box, our box is...
Binne gemeenskap van goedere. Within community of property.
So we are fit females. The men, we struggle to get the men, but this year with the competition, the men actually showed more oomph in themselves.
I see.
Yeah.
So in terms of the logistics, how to get this whole shebang to bring such a thing together, how much time did you guys obviously spend in? Is it really cumbersome to actually put something like this together?
Yes, we already started preparing for the event in July already, but we weren't sure about this whole COVID thing, and we're like, okay, but let's just get the thing going and just keep on going for in case, we will never know. And here we are. So it takes a while to prepare for it because you need to look at all the different type of things. You need to say, okay, are we making the rig bigger? If we're making the rig bigger, we need to look at steel. Like, for instance, steel is not available anywhere, so you will have to order them, and it takes quite a long time to get here. And also the watts. Everything needs to be tried and proven, and making sure that everything runs well with the workouts and see how long the workouts is. But that's more my husband's forte, because he's the Dave Castro of our event. So he's making sure the athletes being tortured.
I think this event will be
awesome,
really, really special because of like Janke said, this lockdown time, people are stuck in their homes, they're frustrated, they just want to get out, and this will be a super good way for everyone to get back together, show some community, show some spirit, and have some nice competition between each other, friendly competition, and afterwards have a good time, and just make new friends. That's for me what it's about, making new friends, expanding the community.
I think two of my favorite sport codes in life is soccer and rugby. when a player, where there's an indiscretion of a player, it's either a red card or a yellow card, you are basically part of your judge.
Yeah.
So what can competitors expect in terms of if there's a transgression? How do you penalize a competitor? What are some of the examples of penalizing a competitor in a setup like this?
Well, it doesn't help arguing with the judge, because the judge has the final say at the end of the day. So sometimes in the heat of the moment, I'm an athlete myself. Ek het nie van nie draai hare nie. Ek word so kwaad.
Okay.
And if an athlete does decide he feels he's right, take the time, rather go through it with the judge, or in my opinion, accept the no rep that you get, discuss it with the judge. Afterwards, the judge will explain to the athlete why they got their no rep, and hopefully come to a mutual understanding. But like I said, at the heat of the moment when you're competing, you just want to come first, you just go, and then you feel you've done the rep, the judge says, listen, no rep. To the athletes who are watching this, I'll be very honest with you, listen to your judges have the final say.
We have a few comments here on our stream. Ethel Koningsdogter Visagie sê ek is sommer klaar fit van net luister. And then we have Estomich Simistad, all the way from Norway, watching all the way from Norway, is asking what precautions will be taken when it comes to COVID at such a huge gathering like that.
Okay, that's my answer.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to make sure that the athletes have sanitizers, and we're also going to have disinfectant, because unfortunately this whole year sanitizing bars, it actually damages the bars. So we came to a conclusion that rather have disinfectant in water and clean the bars with the disinfectant, and it won't stain and damage the bars and also the plate. So basically the athletes as teams will have to clean their bar after what they've done, and make sure also where they've done like pull-ups and all their muscle-ups, or wherever they're all blood, sweat and tears, they have to clean up.
Good question. Does the sanitizer per se, it also probably depends on what kind of sanitizer you're using. Does that also not perhaps affect your grip?
It does. It makes it slippery, and more athletes will also be able to get injured by that, especially when you're doing muscle-ups and so on. So that's why we rather have the water and the disinfectant.
The water-based one?
Yes.
Oh,
and also the judges are all going to have masks, and all the staff all buffs.
Okay.
So we're going to follow the rules and regulations regarding the COVID and
Then basically we're outside. We've got the big stadium, the athletic stadiums where all the spectators will be sitting. So we will tell the people rather to stay there 1.5 meters from one another, or even families, that we can get a little bit of space in there. Then on the field, athletes, there's only 10 heats going at the stage. The lanes that they are going to compete in is about 2 meters wide. So in each lane is only going to be 3 people at one time. So I think that will basically also reduce the risk.
Just a quick question. Maybe you guys can also just give us an idea of exactly which stadium we are talking about, and these activities, all these activities that we talk about, where exactly in Swakopmund will this be happening?
So the first workout, it still needs to be released in all the details, but it's going to be in the Swakopmund River.
Okay.
So, but I can't say now because that's part and parcel of our video releases.
It's a secret venue.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
But you can say the other 2 venues.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the other 2 venues, the afternoon on the Friday, we're going to move across to the Mola.
By the Mola, okay.
Yes, the big Mola where the museum is and the Strand Hotel. We're going to do there the workout on the beach, and then use that Lekker sea for the swimming mats.
There's going to be a lot of spectators there. We foresee the beach is going to be quite full, because I believe for anybody who goes to Swakopmund, the Mola is always the biggest hangout spot.
The hot spot.
It's the hot spot, and so people are really going to flock down there to go and see.
Yes.
Okay. So there's going to be workouts there on the beach at the Mola.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Then with the workouts in the Mola, we're going to have sea rescue there. Met Rescue is also going to be there looking after the safety and the health of the athletes. The Saturday, we're going to be the whole day at this athletics track stadium next to the dome.
Oh, I see.
Yes, so it's the main tartan track.
Along the coast, yes.
Is that a tartan track?
Yes.
I've never really been in there. I always drive past there.
Yeah.
I always thought it's a...
No, it's a very good facility.
Yeah,
I
they
see.
look very well after their track.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the whole day we're going to be there. We're going to have some vendors being set up there, food,
some food stands.
Yeah, we're going to have the athletes tents there where they can just lie down
and chill.
The warm-up area, chill area, athlete area.
So we want to make it friendly for all the spectators also to be there. We're also looking at bringing some jumping castles for the kids so that parents can leave their kids to play around and then be able to watch also the...
So in a nutshell, the 18th is at the beach, 19th is at the athletic stadium.
Aha, okay.
In a nutshell.
At the athletic stadium, is there an admission fee that people need to pay or not?
No.
Oh, that's
We want to make it all inclusive, let everyone in, come have a look. That's how you're going to expand the sport as well. No one's just going to go pay to watch. But if people can come and have a look, hey, this looks great, I think I can do it. Get some of the gym junkies to come and take a shot. And see what they can do for us.
Yeah.
And I'm not mistaken, there's going to be prizes to win as well on the day.
Okay.
If you come and visit, there's prizes to be won. Some like activities and then win a prize.
To add to the prizes, Janke has organized some very good prizes for the RX, male and female, and for the scale category.
Don't forget the Masters.
The Masters, yes, sorry. Janke's also part of the
I'm
Masters.
a master, but I'm competing RX, but I'm still a master.
Janke's gone over and beyond to get very good prizes for the people.
So age group for the Masters?
40 plus.
Okay, so I'm a master.
You in?
Yeah, dude.
I'm 49 years old. I'm not. Is there anything beyond a master?
Vets.
Old crocs.
Master plus.
Yeah. So,
master plus a beer.
Actually, there you go.
I think we must just give him a beer that day and just let him chill.
2 beers and put him on the mic. I think then we're sorted.
Yeah.
Beer drink, die dag, let it clap. Yeah. Guys, this is very, very interesting. I think a lot of Namibians out there who will be flocking down to the coast who are on our stream at this moment are watching. And we're so much looking forward to this. For me, through QZ, it's basically how I basically came to know what CrossFit is.
Yeah.
So gym has always been part of my lifestyle, but obviously not at this level. So it would really be interesting for me to go and see that, and maybe I'll learn a thing or two there, definitely. And obviously, it's obviously a time also, and it's one of the things that Estomich says also here from Norway, is it is an event where a lot of family will basically flock together to go and watch so we're really very much looking forward to that. And yes, we're just wishing you guys, are there any last words before we wish you well?
No, I think we can hopefully end of the year of the competition season for CrossFit in Namibia. Every box in Namibia has had their own competition, and I'm confident that Swakopmund CrossFit and Skeleton Coast CrossFit will end of this year with a bang, that's for sure.
Nee, ek is moeg gepraat.
Janke sê sy's moeg gepraat. Yeah.
Just from my side, and I think that is something that we've got the spectators there. Come and have a look. You will be amazed what the human body is capable of doing. Everyone thinks that once you do CrossFit, you need to be in this fit. You should already be fit and strong to be able to do CrossFit. I mean, we've got people that's walking off the street that, they are overweight and they can't do anything. They can't even do a push-up. They start push-ups against the wall.
Yeah.
So CrossFit is for everyone. We take you from where you are and we mold you to be a better person of what you could be.
Of the previous day.
And the same with the competitions. I worked it out in such a way, even in the scaled and RX divisions. There's some activities that's going to be so difficult for them. But with that adrenaline rush and the cheer of the stadium, your community behind you, sometimes you will just see miracles where guys are doing stuff that they never thought they would be able to do.
Wow. Wow.
Some athletes actually get their first muscle up, their first handstand walk, their first handstand push-up, at a first rope climb, okay, also maybe with legs, without legs, doesn't matter, with a competition and not necessarily with training. You get that usually with a competition, that adrenaline that goes.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for coming into the studio. I think from the organizers' side, Mani and the team, they are extremely excited as they were talking to us here early in the studio. And I think also QZ, who's going to be the ambassador or is the ambassador, is equally excited. So we're definitely going to be seeing you guys in Swakopmund. And to all our viewers out there, once again, it's really been a pleasure joining us here in the studio. From us as the media partner in this, we're so much looking forward to this. It's going to be a blast in December, the 18th and the 19th of December. So we can't wait to see you guys all there. Come with your family and friends. And so is mahala, is gratis. So os check that's all. So from me and the team, have a joyful and a blessed Friday, and see you guys on Monday again. Sharp, sharp.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
LifeSave guarantees the growth of an individual's savings over a period of time. With guaranteed 8.5% compound interest rates per year, making your money work for you has never been this easy. SMS LifeSave to 31844. LifeSave, underwritten by Trusco Life.
The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trusco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informanté radio station.
This is Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age. Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age.